Welcome to this new and special edition of the Queer God Squad. We are the coolest pastors you will ever meet.
Faith and religion can be complicated for the LGBTQ plus community. Surveys show that evangelical faith is a justification for the greatest attacks on the LGBTQ plus community.
So, the Queer God Squad is going to explore our religious community, explore the big news of the day and what it means to you. And we are going to explore if we can find some places that help heal the pain and hurt religion can be responsible for. We know you're going to find some hope, peace, and fun in our conversation.
It's 3 p.m. and the Queer God Squad is broadcasting daily.
This is live, and then we are available on demand.
We are available on all smart televisions, including Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire TV, YouTube, and Facebook. In the entire world, nothing like this has ever existed for the LGBTQ plus community before.
I am Reverend Dr. Darrell Watkins, the senior minister here at Sunshine Cathedral.
I am Reverend Dr. Robert Griffin, the executive minister here at the Sunshine Cathedral.
I am the Reverend Kevin Tisdall, the minister of education at Sunshine Cathedral.
Radical GOP and evangelicals have launched a culture war on our LGBTQ plus community. They want to push you back in the closet. We're not going.
At Sunshine Cathedral, we are here to tell you that you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Our commitment in partnering with Happening Out Television Network and Queer News Tonight is to give the LGBTQ plus faith community this voice for hope, for change, that you are not alone.
Happening Out Television Network is a 501c3 nonprofit media platform in the television and radio model of PBS and NPR, but designed for our LGBTQ plus community. The Queer God Squad is part of one of the largest LGBTQ plus media companies in America, Hotspot Magazine and Happening Out Television Network.
Our mission is to support the 10 pillars of the LGBTQ plus community, including the Black community, Latino, lesbian and queer women, trans, students and youth, seniors, HIV/AIDS healthcare, social justice, business, and our 10th pillar is faith. Help us support our LGBTQ plus community.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral Perspective. New Gallup polls show American belief in God and heaven at the lowest point in over 2 decades. The percentages of Americans who believe in each of 5 religious entities, God, angels, heaven, hell, and the devil, have edged downward by 3 to 5 percentage points since 2016. Gallup measured belief in these spiritual entities 5 times since 2001, and the May 2023 poll finds that each is at its lowest point. Compared with 2001, belief in God and heaven is down most with 16 points each, while belief in hell has fallen 12 points and the devil and angels are down 10 points each. At the same time, nearly 3 in 10 U.S. adults do not believe in the devil or hell, while almost 2 in 10 do not believe in angels and heaven. And 12% say they do not believe in God. As the percentage of believers has dropped over the past 2 decades, the corresponding increases have occurred mostly in non-belief, with much smaller increases in uncertainty. Frequent churchgoers, Protestants, including non-denominational Christians, and Republicans are the most likely subgroups to say that they believe in the 5 spiritual entities. I don't know which team I'm supposed to be on, y'all. That 1% is about, that non-belief stuff and all that other stuff. It's like, okay, I could probably add to a couple of percentage of that, but I think it is fascinating to how the trends are have changed even from my time as a kid growing up, where every Sunday you were in church regardless. And it was mostly Sunday school and then church, and then good food on the church grounds following that. But anyway, that's another story. But, from the time I grew up in the South and early days to, we're looking at the trends now where we've gone from people being in church every Sunday to really now, if you can get them in church once a month, you're doing good. And a lot of that has attributed to surveys show and report that times have changed. Situations are different. People move a lot more than they used to. That's not the time and opportunity to homestead in a local church like we used to. More people will call a church their spiritual community versus their membership community. And membership is different from attending. We all know these things. But the belief in those particular 5 spiritual entities, I would probably say at one point in my life, I was a believer in most of those. But as I've gotten older and I've become wiser, it's like, okay, so what? Life goes on, and so I'm much more that camp of deep spiritual understanding of what I believe in and why I believe in and what I believe and what I don't believe in. And I think people just took the time to evaluate for themselves why they believe what they believe. They'll find themselves probably more in that category of upping the percentage around belief in something different.
That's also why you see the same groups that are holding on to these beliefs, while majority of people are letting some of them go, those who are holding on to are trying to legislate those beliefs because they don't have the numbers anymore. When you live in a town, you're the 3rd or 4th generation to live in this town. When there are blue laws where nothing's open on Sunday but churches, certainly there's no soccer games or whatever. When it's the only game in town, they flourished. But now that you do move a lot, and people will schedule their recreational things opposite church time, and businesses are open 7 days a week, and it's just a different landscape. But I think it's even more than that. I think that people, although there's this attack on education, there's this attack on intellectualism, there's this attack on empiricism, there's this attack on critical thinking, and yet some of us are managing to do it, and it's getting out. And people are, once you start asking questions, you just can't unring that bell. Hell doesn't make any sense. And a God that would create a hell doesn't make any sense. And once you get rid of one thing, once you can say, okay, women can preach, or gays are okay, or women should have control of their own bodies, or the Bible is wrong when it says this or that, or at least it's not factual. Once you just open that crack, then everything's coming through. Well, what if what I thought about God was wrong? What if what I thought about the afterlife was wrong? What are the chances that I just got this 1 or 2 or 3 things wrong? And so I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing, because the God of my childhood would be useless to me today. In fact, would be offensive to me. But as I continue to grow and I think of God as ultimate reality, as what is, and me as being part of what is, well, now those poetic words from Scripture, it's a God that we live and move and have our being, starts making sense. God isn't a person out there causing all this mayhem, or ignoring all this mayhem, or punishing, or whatever. No, God is the life we share, and the journey that we're on. And spirituality isn't about telling us what we have to believe. It's about creating the space where we can safely go on this journey together and have some fun along the way and share tears when it's sad and all of that. So I think we'll always have needs for spirituality. I hope progressive churches and synagogues and temples and covens and groups will always provide that. But I'm actually relieved that all of the superstitious and mean-spirited and crazy and violent stuff is losing traction, because that was never religion at its best anyway.
And just playing off of that, I find the more you know, the more you understand that a lot of what you learned when you were a kid just is not true. I remember going to Bible studies when I was a kid, and they would talk about things in the Bible. I had to be convinced that they weren't fables. They had to tell me, no, this is the gospel, this is the word. And that stuck with me for a very long time, until I started doing my own research, started looking into the Bible and what it really means. I've known Darrell for over 2 decades, and he was my pastor up in church in New Jersey. And a couple of the parishioners there were just die-hard Baptists who believed in everything that the Bible supposedly said, until they started listening to what he was preaching. And once you learn something, once you know something to be different than what you thought in the past, this one woman said to him, because of you, I can never go back to what I used to believe. And I think that is the power of truly progressive religion, to teach people that there are better ways to think about spirituality, better ways to think about how you relate to the world. And because of what we learn at Sunshine Cathedral, I think that we have a better chance of surviving any tsunami of craziness.
We are excited to tell you we are going on a cruise in the Eastern Mediterranean this fall that will include the world's major religious sites for Christians, Jews, and Muslims as we visit Athens. I love Athens. And Egypt, first time going. And Israel, I love Israel. And Ephesus, first time going. I'm excited, can you tell? And on our 3 continents cruise. And you can find out more and reserve your space at happeningout.travel/sunshine.
Join Reverend Dr. Darrell Watkins and Reverend Dr. Robert Griffin as they host more than 50 people on the Sunshine Cathedral 13-day cruise tour to 3 continents. From just $13.99, you'll visit Athens and cruise to Egypt and the Giza Plateau to see the Great Pyramid, Sphinx, and brand new Egyptian National Museum with King Tut exhibit. Then to Israel for Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. Don't miss the most important Christian UNESCO site in the world, located in Turkey, and the 3,000-year-old city of Ephesus. You also cruise the Med for Rhodes in the Greek Isles and Cyprus. A farewell at the Acropolis makes this a never-before combination of historic sites, a must-do cruise. It's all turnkey inclusive, and a bar is available, all transfers, escorts, hotels, and more. Go to happeningout.travel/sunshine for complete details.
Would you like to join the Queer God Squad on a special winter cruise in 2024? Well, now you can. You will visit Cozumel, Mexico, Grand Cayman, and Ocho Rios. And you can even add an open bar and Wi-Fi. Join us by going to happeningout.travel/sunshine.
Join the Queer God Squad and Sunshine Cathedral for a wonderful Caribbean cruise on the brand new Ultra Deluxe MSC Seascape. The 8-day cruise starts at just $399 plus government taxes. Sail February 10th, 2024 from Miami to Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve, the world's best private island. You'll also visit Cozumel, Mexico, Grand Cayman, and Ocho Rios. Join us on an 8-day Caribbean cruise. This winter cruise will be the perfect getaway and an opportunity to support Sunshine Cathedral as a beneficiary. The trip is affordable for all, as you can make a reservation on this cruise for just $1, just a buck, to confirm your reservation, and then there's a $99 interest-free monthly payment plan, so it's easy on your pockets. What's more, there's also a free open bar and Wi-Fi program when you pay for just 1 day, $25 transfers to and from the Miami Pier, and an exclusive onboard entertainment program for Sunshine Cathedral guests. This cruise will be a perfect winter getaway for you. Join us by going to happeningout.travel/sunshine.
That's today with the Queer God Squad. We want to thank you for joining us. We are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and talk about what our LGBTQ+ community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's largest progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. And we are all in this together. Remember that.
You are God's miracle, not God's mistake.
Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.
Bye.